Ryan, your first Masters. How has the first day and a half been? First couple of days been? All you hoped for?
Yeah, yeah, man, it's really sick. Augusta is awesome. I think that's the big takeaway. Uh, I've played there a bunch, or I would say maybe not a bunch, but enough times where I feel really comfortable around the place. But there's something really special when there's thousands of patrons kind of around, and it really feels like a tournament instead of just playing a really, really sweet golf course that's kind of secluded. So I think that that's a big change. Conditions are tough or getting tougher, I would say, than what I've been used to out there. Greens are getting firm, um, they're getting fast, pins are kinda going in the right spot, so, it will be a lot of fun, um, but I'm really excited, man. It's been an awesome couple weeks leading up to it, been an awesome couple days here, and, man, I'm just ready to peg it on Thursday.
A big reason, obviously, you wanted to get into the Masters. That's why you went to Mauritius. But you had talked about the fact that when you're in, it's easier to get on prior to the thing, and then you can schedule your season, like leading up to this instead of trying to get into it. Uh, how many times did you get to play, Ryan, since Mauritius? And does that, and obviously that makes this week so much easier because the learning curve for Augusta is so big.
Yeah, I played 3.5 times, kind of leading up into it. Went the week after Players and played Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I went last Monday and played. I think it just allows you to spend more time around the golf course and get a real feel for what's going on. Um, have some local caddy knowledge. Obviously, my caddy is really good and he's been there a few times, but just, some guys have been out there every day for months and months, if not years and years. So just, when you get guys like that who are knowledgeable and kind of have some insider info, that's always cool. Um, I think it allows you to feel ready um, because when you step on property, it's overwhelming. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff, moving parts, chaos, signups, traditions, kind of learning curve, and getting a feel for all of that beforehand, but also understanding it's like, yeah, I am where I'm supposed to be and I'm ready to go. It's just made the first couple days a lot simpler in the fact of, hey, I know where I'm going when I show up. I know where I'm registering. I know where the new player services building is. I know how to get to the tournament range. I know how to get to 1T. I know the drill. Um, and in year two, year three, year four, like that's just kind of something you probably take for granted. But year one, um, it becomes a little less daunting because there's so many moving parts. It's just one less thing you have to worry about.
And and Ryan, that's the kind of like the Masters will never be just another week. But I assume as a player, you try your best to make it as normal as possible. So taking that off the course, even though it's kind of on the course, like off the course stuff off your plate and knowing what it is just lets you concentrate on golf as much as possible.
Yeah, I think majors in general are a little bit more chaotic than people might realize. You just have a lot more obligations. You have a lot more media sponsors. Uh, there's no pro am, which is really really cool. But in this case, it was par 3 contest, which is awesome. Uh, but you're just not able to get around as quickly and be as efficient with what you're doing. There's just a lot more people. They're a lot more spread out. There's a lot more infrastructure. Logistically, it takes longer to get to and from the golf course wherever you're staying. It's just like small things that add up over the course of the week that might cut you an hour, 2 hours a day. And when you're trying to conserve energy because they're long weeks that are mentally grueling and physically demanding, those add up over time. And I'm starting the first of 6 weeks in a row, and the final event's the PGA Championship. So it's unlikely that I'll get tired this week, but
Hmm.
this will serve me well week 4, week 5 at Doral or at Truist or whatever it might be in order to be better served and better prepared to play good golf later in the stretch.
And the things you talked about are different, Ryan. And but on this week, when the golf course is difficult to learn, when you get on one tee, how much are you consciously doing stuff different, or are you doing the opposite? You're trying to make this as normal as possible, even though, again, you know where you are, you know the tournament. But like, if you played nine normally on Tuesday and nine on Wednesday, how different do you get away from whatever your normal routine is?
I mean, it's infinitely different this week. Like, most weeks are kinda cut and dry, copy paste. Um, it starts with the yardage book. I mean, I have one sitting right here. There are 0 notes in it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you get a sheet and it's just got, like, here, I'll find a good page. Like, this is 10. Like, this is all that is in it. It's some numbers and, like, a blank green with, like, 1 slope on the front. So you have to go through and, like, I have a non-tournament yardage book. This is the tournament yardage book, that I'm gonna transfer all my notes from my non-tournament yardage book into. You gotta go get slopes from all the sprinkler heads. You gotta get slopes on the greens. You gotta learn the nuances of different pin placements. You gotta understand, where the runouts are. You gotta get lines off the tees. Like, usually all that stuff is done for us because, yardage books are really, really valuable and we're not allowed to have rangefinders or GPS or whatever it might be. But, this week that's kind of all on you to figure it out. So I think it starts there. Secondarily, when the golf course becomes in tournament condition like it is, and it's a very, very subtle difference between, just going out and pin seeking
Yep.
versus all of a sudden the ball is bouncing 7 paces and now you're on probably the most undulating set of greens in the world. Um, Everything just starts feeding in weird directions and collecting in different spots and um, ending up probably where you don't want it to go for the most part. So then it becomes, well, where's the best leave? Where are the options? How does it feel? Stuff like that. And then I think kind of an underrated part, people talk about it, but I don't think they talk about it enough, is the grain. They just mow everything back into you, which
Hmm.
doesn't really affect a ton on full shots. Like, it's not like it's cut super high or it's Bermuda so that it's like really grabbing the club
Yeah.
face, but it just magnifies slight errors in what you're doing. Like, if you slightly mishit it normally, like, you might get away with it. If you slightly mishit it here, like, you're gonna pay the price. And around the greens, every chip is basically into the grain. You're never really
Hmm.
feeling like, "Oh, yeah, I got one. I can just lay the face wide open and slide under it and spin it." Like, everything is kind of just enough into the grain where the ball could come out a little slow, right up the face, come out with a little less spin, and just kinda trundle a little bit, and that's, something that you have to be aware of and get a feel for. Because when you're out there walking around whacking it, normally grain doesn't necessarily change, but it changes the way that you approach certain shots. Um, and here, when you have to be really, really precise to really tight areas, you just have to kind of be aware of that and understanding that the tolerances for your misses are much smaller.
And I assume that's part of being tired, or managing not being tired, Ryan, is like it's mentally, even the practice rounds, like you said, in a normal practice round, even if it's a new course, it's like pretty straightforward. Like you're not grinding over. And then here, you're even grinding as much as you can in a practice round. And so that's it, just managing what that looks like come Sunday, right? Is like your goal obviously is to be as ready as you can be Sunday. And that starts Monday and Tuesday. And just like managing all of that is what makes a major and what makes Augusta, I assume.
Yeah, majors in particular, but Augusta, it's a big walk, right? It's a big ballpark. There's a lot going on. Conditions are the most difficult, which is awesome, but it just lends itself to being more time consuming. Um, Longer walks between holes. This place is hilly. Like, there are plus 14s and minus 14s in terms of elevation all around the golf course, and there's not a single elevation in the yardage book. So it's just like, hey man, go figure it out.
Yeah.
Here's a blank canvas, go figure it out. Go play golf, which is awesome. But it takes time to do that, and I don't have years and years and years of experience to rely on. So I know, like, this might be Bernard Longer's like 45th Masters or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I've been alive for half that amount of time. So, you know, I understand the course changes and there are subtle tweaks that happen every year, but just to have like a wealth of knowledge like that is impressive and, you know, something that I have to kind of play catch up on.
Okay, last one. Some people lean on veterans, some people don't. Did you like consult with anybody? It's hard. It's like, do you guys have different games, different ball flights, different things, and so did you consult with anyone or play a practice round, seek out somebody to play a practice round with to get that, or do you try to just do it, within yourself, knowing your own game?
Um, I like to play a practice round with someone. I played with Matt McCarty and FIFA, the amateur today. I'm not even gonna try and butcher his last name.
Yeah, neither you.
Um, he's a really nice kid. And then I played with the Canadians yesterday, Corey Connors and Nick Taylor. And Corey's had a lot of success around here, so
Mhm.
kind of watching what he did a little bit. Tomorrow, not sure what the plan is, but I think it's one of those things where you can kind of get too drawn to watching someone play. Like if I could play with anyone around here, I'd really want to play with Justin Rose. Um, just I mean, he's got a lot of experience around this place. He puts it unfathomably good, and he's just really, really cerebral as a player. So I think that would be someone that I'd love to play with. But he's kind of got his own routine. Like Rory goes out at 7:30 this morning solo, and I can't even get on the golf course till 8 because they have like separate tee times for past champions. Like
Yeah,
not saying he would ever play with me, but just like
right.
even if I wanted to, like that's his deal. And that's kind of what I've realized is a lot of people have their own philosophies, a lot of people have their own things. Um, it's good to get into a routine that you feel comfortable with. And for me, like that's just kind of playing when I feel like the best time is and trying to get a couple guys to play with so I can see more shots react into greens, more balls bounce, maybe learn one thing or two things a day from someone else. But you know, everyone's got to play the same golf course. Everyone's got to go figure it out. Local knowledge is important, but at the end of the day, if you have a lot of local knowledge but you're hitting it horribly, like it's not gonna go too well for you. And if you're hitting it great but you're an absolute idiot, it's also not gonna go well. So it's kind of marrying the two things and just being prepared both physically, mentally, but also just find the sweet spot of the club face and going out there and trying to post a score.
Ryan, I appreciate it as always. You're always willing to do this stuff. I appreciate it on Masters Week. As you know, be pulling for you. It's an amazing story. Went from Mauritius to get here. Not that your play this year wouldn't have got you in it eventually, but it made it easier. And I appreciate the time, man. Play well this week.
Thank you. Last parting thought. I needed a top four in Mauritius to get in, basically Monday qualifier. So
Yeah,
we made it
amen,
happen.
buddy. Amen. The Monday
Thank you.
qualifier has been a common theme through your life. So let's let's
Go
do it
make it
again.
happen.
Yeah,
Thank
sounds
you.
good. Thanks, man.